Welcome to the first episode of Anyone and Ed, a podcast that focuses on local business and local issues. Join me as we talk with members of the community who impact your Clinton experience. This episode, I talk with Lauren Nanoff, owner and manager of The Fountain, a relatively new 1950s vibe ice cream parlor, soda fountain, bakery / candy shop. Yeah, there's a lot going on down there, and Lauren's going to explain all of it. So sit back, grab a bag of Skittles and a dirty soda, and learn a little about what one of the newer stores on High Street can offer you. Enjoy. Welcome, everybody. This is the first episode of Anyone and Ed, a local podcast where we'll be talking to small business owners such as Lauren Nanoff of The Fountain. We may delve into some town issues, but mostly it will be focused on small business, getting to know the owners, getting to know the business, and just to give you guys an opportunity to, if you haven't been here before, you can see what it's all about, and then maybe you will want to come down here and check out the businesses. So without further ado, Lauren, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
No problem. This is great. I appreciate you being diving right in, being the first guest.
A little nervous.
Appreciate it. So one of the first things I was curious is, how did you guys decide on the theme or the type of business that this is? Like, where did you guys come up with the idea? Seems like it's kind of like a like 1950s style diner / kind of like a soda fountain place. Can you talk a little bit about what you guys, how you came about that process? Or was this something that you had been planning for a long time and you just had an opportunity to do it? Or
Yeah, so I grew up in Lancaster but went to school in Clinton. So Clinton downtown was where we always came. I always envisioned an old school soda shop in town. I think it was the spot on the corner where Remax currently is that I remember walking by with my mom and saying, wouldn't it be cool if there was like an old school soda fountain there, or a place for like after you won a game and you came in and had a milkshake with friends. So I always had that idea in the back of my head that I would love to have seen come about. But then the trend of dirty sodas I saw about 3 years ago now, and we made one at home. And a dirty soda is a soda mixed with syrups, like Torani syrups that you'd put in coffee, and creamers or like a cold foam.
Okay.
So something that sounds really gross, but I don't know like what made me want to try it, but we tried one at home and it was so good that I forced it upon all my friends and family to try. And then that kind of like popped into my head again. Oh, soda shop, like dirty soda. Like I started researching if there was any in the area, and there was none in New England. There was none even on the East Coast, only down in North Carolina and South Carolina.
Wow.
So I really saw that we could get ahead of the trend and do it. So I kind of just had like a come about moment where I decided to quit everything else and fully dive into this and hope that it worked.
Right. And being on the chamber, we're always talking about foot traffic in town. This definitely seems to be a store that kind of contributes to the foot traffic. Or if there's something else going on High Street, this would be a place where you would like stop in, maybe get something like on your way to something else is going on. So it definitely seems part of that whole kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I'm curious. So getting the business going, I mean, everyone has their trials and tribulations. I'm assuming that you guys probably had your fair share of obstacles. So you talk maybe for a moment about like for maybe some other fellow small business entrepreneurs that may be thinking about taking the next step. What were some of the obstacles that you had to deal with and overcome to start the business?
Yeah, being a small business owner and an entrepreneur in itself comes with a lot of challenges. I think number one and the most obvious is financial. Getting off the ground with getting started with your build out, doing it the right way with contractors, with getting all your plans, paying for the plans, licensing, working with vendors. That all comes with a price. But the biggest thing that we have to overcome and have a bit of a balance on every single day is that when you're an entrepreneur, you have this great idea that you think it's a great idea, and you always need to like stay true to that, because just because you think it's a good idea, there's going to be so many people that don't think it's a good idea.
Right.
So in order to get started, we had to keep proving that we believed in it enough that we could keep going. We had, people that when I was outside painting, telling me they didn't like the color, they didn't see that this would work on High Street, or they wouldn't eat ice cream in the winter. They didn't want candy. They didn't want soda. No one drinks soda, but we believed in it enough that we thought it would work.
Right.
So I think coming to that point where you accept that it's not for everyone, and that's okay. Just to keep going and keep pushing in your dreams. It really is like every single day that we're having to prove ourselves to people.
And kind of to that point, like, how has the response been? I mean, I can only speak personally. I frequent the place with my kids or my nieces. Every time we've been in here, it seems like it's very crowded. How you guys have been about a year and a half, 2 years?
It'll be 2 years in June.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you think the response has been? I mean, from my perspective, it seems like it's, but I'm only here when I'm here with, temporarily just here. You're here much longer. Like, how do you think the response has been to the business?
It's been more than we ever could imagined. And going back to when I wanted to open an old school little soda shop, I never realized like the impact that it would have on the community. We've gone viral so many times, and we've become a destination in New England. People driving an hour, 45 minutes every week to come here, to stop by on their way back to Boston to Maine, and it's not on the way to anything really to get to Clinton. So the response has been great with the people who are coming from outside of town, but it's really the community that's made such an impact on us. I received a handwritten letter last week, and it was right after another article and right after like going viral again. Just how much that the fountain made them feel comfortable and believe in community again when they felt like nothing was going on or Clinton or nothing. They didn't feel comfortable anywhere else. And that just like, it stops you right in your tracks. Like people who have said that when they come to see us we had people come on their wedding day. Like we had people come visit us after they adopted like their son. Like this is where they wanted to come, and just hearing those little things that this is a place that makes someone's day is like more than we could have ever imagined.
That's amazing. What we talked about the dirty soda. I know, and that was a question I was told to make sure I ask because that seems to be a big hit. What would you think? What are some of the other like main attractions of the store that like you think you definitely want them to know, like in addition to the dirty soda, like what are some of the other products, drinks, whatever that you guys sell here that?
Yeah, so we have two sides to our store. So I never had the vision of a candy shop ever when I wanted the fountain soda shop to kick off. This location that we ended up with was unique in the fact that it connects through a hallway. We share a basement, we share a bathroom, so we had to take the other side. So my dad was like, what about a little candy shop? And it ended up being it's a whole nother business like within itself. But I want people to realize that we are more than just sodas. We have ice cream. We're known for our stackers, which are sundaes layered in a cup. We do some crazy ones. We have ice cream nachos. We're releasing ice cream tacos this week. We have our full candy shop with nostalgic candy, pick your own candy mix. We also have a baker who works full time here. So she does cupcakes, cookies, cakes. She does specials, and she keeps up with the trends every week. She just did our Justin Bieber menu. We did a Hannah Montana one. So Mother's Day menu coming out, pre-orders and stuff like that. So she's been very helpful, and people have loved it, getting cakes through her, etc. It's become little bakery we have going on too. My grandparents owned a little store up on the acre, and they had penny candy, and I'll have people come in that are like grandparents now, and they're like, when I grew up I used to have a tab on your grandparents penny candy bill, and my parents would then come in and pay it. So it's kind of all come full circle that I'm like, okay, maybe it's like rooted that it was meant to be to have this candy shop that
for sure. Yeah, that's great. So I want to talk for a second. You guys do a lot. You're very active with like events and stuff down here. You do a lot of themed events.
Yeah.
I think the one you're most known for is the movie music Mondays. So I wonder if you could just talk a little bit about that and like kind of how do you decide on the themes that you're going to do, and which one do you think was the biggest hit out of all of them?
Yeah, I have employees who are just super into the trends, and they love the fountain. So they'll come up with a lot of the ideas that, they'll say stuff to me and I'm like, do we really need to do that? Because it's an investment every theme that we do. We, theme the whole bakery side and candy and drinks, and we're buying special things. But we've done Harry Styles night. We did Hannah Montana 20th reunion that we went viral for. We did the Masters where we teamed up with X Golf and we did a little promo with them in Hudson. But the music and movie nights we ran from June to the last week of August, where every Monday was either a music genre or it was a movie theme. So we completely changed our menu to go along with like different characters or like different little clips of the movie within the name. That the response to that, we thought it was just okay. That was our first summer being open as the ice cream shop. So we were like, how are we going to get people in the door? Not realizing that they already did like it and they would already come. But we were like, all right, what can we do on a Monday? So we thought of that. And then the response from that was just crazy. People coming in like fully dressed to the theme. And like we had Ghostbusters Society of like New England come and they came in a replica Ghostmobile, and she came with her proton pack. So it was like we really hit on a different little niche for everyone, and we let our customers vote on the different theme nights that we had. So I liked that they had a say in it.
They vote on what the theme will be, or have their reaction to a theme that already happened?
What the theme would be. So I think we posted it in May, and then we had like the poster up in the windows and in the store for the whole month on what was coming out, whether it was Taylor Swift night, Star Wars night, 80s night, millennial music.
And did you have a personal favorite?
My favorite was the Elder Emo music night. So it was by far the most popular. Like it blew Taylor Swift out of the water.
Yeah.
Frozen, it beat Frozen. We even had Elsa and Anna were serving ice cream that night, but it was the Elder Emo music night.
That is funny.
Yeah.
So you guys, we talked earlier about like the theme of this place. Like I said, kind of like the vibe I get, kind of like I think that you're going for kind of like a 50s diner, like, soda fountain place, ice cream shop. But you guys do a really good job of like blending old school and new school. And I think the best example of that is your website and how you use your website. And like we were just talking about how you interact with your customers. And they seems like they're really involved in the process. Can you just speak for a second on how you guys utilize the website currently, and do you have any plans to kind of expand on that kind of social media accessibility or anything like that?
Yeah, I knew that social media was going to be a big part of our business. Like when I was doing the build out here, we did all the work ourselves, and I just kept saying to Chris after I talked him into like us doing this and diving in, I wanted it to be Instagram worthy. So I wanted a place where people would hold their drink up, hold their ice cream up, and take a picture. I remember being in here at 3 a.m. and putting those sprinkles on the ceiling up there, and we didn't even have floors yet. And Chris is like, "Is this really what we need to be doing?" Like, and I'm like, "Yes." Like, it's something that I'm telling you, Chris. Like, people need to feel it and be a part of it and take pictures of it. Yeah. So we wanted to blend the nostalgia of like being a modern take on an old school soda shop.
Yep.
I always envisioned it having like bar stools and a place where people could sit. It didn't work out for this location, but within our social media and website, we do try to really let our customers have a part in like what's going on here, so that they feel like it's a part of it, because without them we don't have anything. So we try to make sure that we appeal to everyone. We let them vote on our flavors of ice cream that we have. We change the flavors each month. We have 100 to choose from, and then we have 9 on each month. So they go like seasonally. Like Christmas we have eggnog and stuff, but if people vote to have them back, we'll take that input. Right. We're also coming out with the Fountain Vault, it's called, where it's going to be a password on our website to access all the old menus from the pop-ups.
Oh, nice.
So there's been some that people really love from movie nights or from Christmas in July or the Christmas menu. So they'll be able to access that to order their favorite drinks. That's even awesome. In the off season.
That's great. one of the things I'm curious is, I know, and you've kind of answered this question with some other questions that I've asked, but if you were talking to somebody like a potential new customer, someone that's never even heard of the fountain or anything, like what would be your pitch to them? You know, we talked about the dirty sodas and some of the other products, but in general, like kind of like experience, like what do you think would be, from your opinion, what would be a new customer's like ideal experience that like you would want them to have coming to your store?
Um, Biggest thing is I want them to create memories here and maybe discover things that they see in here that are nostalgic to them and spark a memory.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my favorite things is when we're on the candy side and we see someone pick up like something and they're like, I haven't seen these in 40 years. Or I had a customer last week that I special ordered him salted nut rolls and then a different type of candy that he hadn't had since childhood.
Mm-hmm.
So I want people to experience that we're more than just a candy shop. Like, we're truly passionate about making sure that everyone has an experience here.
Right.
There's something for everyone, whether it's a sugar-free drink or whether it's you're indulging in crazy ice cream nachos or
Yep.
something, loaded, a cookie cake sundae or whatever it may be, that there really is
Right.
something for everyone, and that I want people to sit down and enjoy themselves.
Right, enjoy it, have
Yeah.
the total experience. Now, this is not your first foray into running your own business.
Yeah.
You've run two other small businesses.
I ran a painting company for 7 years, but I also own a vacation rental company. We
Okay.
have 2 houses in New Hampshire.
And do you think those? I mean, obviously, that experience must have helped you, but like
Yeah.
any specific ways, like though the experience of those other businesses kind of like helped prepare you better for kind of like opening this store?
Yeah, I think like reflecting on it after owning this business for 2 years now, besides getting off the ground, I wanted to. The painting business was really successful in itself. We specialized in cabinet refinishings, and we were the only ones like in the area who did that. So we were growing at a pace that was like too much for us to
Mm-hmm.
handle. It's always a great thing to be busy, and we were really lucky that we were busy. So being able to take those skills and being handy here, me being able to do all the work, I saved so much money being
Mm-hmm.
able to do it all myself. So having that knowledge behind me and having the renovation like insight that we had from my dad was really helpful. But bigger than that, running the painting industry, being in a male dominated field, I was constantly having to prove myself every single day to customers that, the husband would be home, the wife wanted the kitchen cabinets painted white, and he'd have a list of questions like
Yep.
that he Googled, questioning me on like me trying to prove myself that I knew what I was doing. I had
Right.
like girls working for me, and I think that translated a lot into opening this business, that I
Mhm.
had to just keep pushing through all the, with all the good things people say, there's a dozen negative
Right.
things that come. So
Plus, probably not as many alpha males in the candy
Yeah.
slash
yeah. Now look where
ice
I
cream
am.
cookie
Yes, I know. So now Chris is on the other side of it.
All right, that's great. You were very instrumental. I mean, we worked together, but you and Kerry kind of took the lead on. First, we started getting Discover Clinton up and going again. Then you guys took it to the next step. You have the
Yeah.
Clinton Chamber going. How has it been? So, you've been on it. You've had some small businesses on it, but I feel like this is your first small business where you're kind of really on the other side of the Clinton Chamber. How have you seen the chamber from the perspective of a small business owner? How have they been able to like help you, guide you? How good of a resource has the Clinton Chamber been for you while you've been getting your business up and running?
Yeah, I was really excited for the opportunity to be able to push further and get the Chamber of Commerce back into
Yep.
Clinton. So I was on Discover Clinton for a bit and sitting down at kind of coffee chats with local business owners, and they kept talking about the recurring same problems that they were facing
Mm-hmm.
and same things that they weren't going anywhere. And I had gotten all their notes and look back like 10 years, and we're still talking about the same things,
Mm-hmm.
problems that could be fixed
Right.
just with them not knowing what outlet to go to. So I think the chamber has done a really good job that people might not see, but we're getting all the people in the right rooms and
Right.
having the conversations
Yep.
to move forward. And even though things still are taking a little bit of time on those like certain topics that they wanted to be fixed, they're moving.
Yeah, there's a direction.
Yeah.
Yep, they're on the radar.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the chamber's done a really good job at making all those connections happen and keep pushing forward to be an outlet for small businesses.
Yep.
Yeah.
And speaking of plans, and I know, you guys are just kind of like getting your sea legs. You're about a year and a half, 2 years in here, but seeing the success of this, do you guys have any specific or even any like loose ideas of where the next step might be? Like it's something you may want to expand into, in regards to the store?
We're huge on our mobile side as well.
Yes.
So we go to different events hire us, or we go to different markets and fairs with the drinks only. Sometimes we bring candy and ice cream sandwiches, but mostly are hired for the dirty sodas and lemonades. So we're going after this today to make the investment in like a bigger food truck for the dirty sodas. So that's another big investment, but obviously we're outgrowing this space, and it doesn't function as well as I thought, even for like the layout we have for what we're doing behind the scenes with employees. So we're keeping our feelers out there and always look, but we'll never leave Clinton.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful. The community's been what's rallied behind us on slower days. So we're always going to be rooted here, but we're always taking a look around anywhere else. So yeah,
and food trucks, that seems like such a logical next step for you guys. I know you do the mobile thing, but I never thought of that. That would be pretty exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, we had purchased a vehicle through the company last year that we thought was big enough, and it just wasn't. Yeah. So now we need to investing in food trucks is, for those of them who have done it, is such an investment, but it's time to make that move. We're really outgrowing it.
Do you have it's probably tough for you to tell because you're probably not checking if people drive or not, but does this have a little bit of a place as like a neighborhood store? Are there a lot of people that just like walk here?
Yes.
Because I mean, when I'm just on Water Street, so I walk here. Are there a lot of customers that do that?
A lot.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So we're right on a bus stop as well. So that's every single day that I'm getting the same group of 15 like kids, and I've gotten to know them so well, and even if they don't buy something every day, I'm asking them how their school day was. They're begging me to go to their 8th grade graduation this year. So we've become like that neighborhood store. We have a lot of people walking from the new housing, like down on Main Street. We see people walking down the hill. They're like running when the open flag is open, when it's up. But we have become that spot. I actually had someone reach out to me that they were just leaving their family member's funeral that used to own like a little candy shop in town. And they were talking about the fountain at the funeral, saying they're glad that neighborhood vibes of a store had come back. So we're honored that they said that.
Pretty
but
compliment.
that's the community is what drives us, and hearing those stories is what means the most.
So you're a lifelong Clintonian, right?
Yep.
Graduated high school 2011. It seems like you've always been very civic-minded. Your father has been involved. I mean, he's a successful construction business in town. He also lends his expertise to some town projects that are going on. Your mother was a kindergarten teacher. Yep. My kindergarten teacher, actually, oddly enough.
She did a good job.
Yep. So how do you think that, that upbringing, your parents' involvement in the community and growing up in Clinton, did that have an effect on you to be involved in the community, to want to start a local business in Clinton?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, my grandparents owned a little general store and deli on the acre. Then my grandfather and my dad started their construction company. My grandmother and my aunt owned a restaurant. So my grandmother would get me off the bus and I would go right to the restaurant and wait till my parents could pick me up. So I was always like bussing tables and, doing whatever they needed. On snow days in high school, my dad would make me plow. So everyone else was like so excited for a snow day, but I had to go plow Walgreens. So I saw that entrepreneurial like aspect in everything that my family did. But I saw that and I was like, geez, I don't want to work that hard. That seems like you can do a lot of other things for less manual labor here in life. Yep. And then I I think it's when I started the painting company and we renovated our houses that I was like, wow, it's really cool to like build something with your hands and have this idea that other people like.
And be your own boss.
And be your own boss. Sometimes that's cool, but other
Pros
times
and cons.
it's like,
Yeah.
And my mom, I couldn't ask for better role models from my parents, but my mom was very supportive and instrumental in everything that I did. Growing up, I played travel softball, and we didn't have travel softball teams around here, and she started one.
Oh, wow.
So she got that started for youth, for AAU softball. We saw a need in girls sports in the schools and started the Booster Club. So I always saw from my parents what an impact in the community can bring. So we always kept that in mind, that give what you can, where you can.
Right.
So we do a lot of things, and my dad has done a lot of things behind the scenes that no one knows about. But if you have the opportunity, it always comes back around. It can't hurt, even if it's not monetary value. If it's something you can do to make someone's day, it's always going to better you and better the community.
Karma, right?
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in karma, so I agree with you on that. So we don't have to spend too much time on this because I feel like we have talked about it a lot, but just I want to give you the opportunity to talk about your mobile part of your business, like what kind of events you normally go to now, how people would get in touch with you to kind of like schedule that type of thing. So if you just speak for a moment about like the mobile side of your business.
So when we first opened, we rented both of these locations in April of 2024. The candy side took like no effort to do, just some paint. This side we weren't able to open till October because it took so much work. So we were like, we have to give people like a taste.
Yes.
So we used to set up we bought a mobile bar and would set it up and do it out of cans and then it became so popular that we had to put it in the candy store and open it every single day. So then we were reached out to by like local organizations to bring our cart places, and we were like, oh, all right, this could be something. So now we're just coming back from 2 events this weekend where we did an event for True Fruit, which is a national company, like chocolate covered fruit brand. And there was like TikTok influencers there. So we were right in Boston Commons.
Oh, wow.
We did that one on Saturday, and then Sunday we did Clark University. So we've been hired by big corporate places like Kendra Scott Jewelry. We did a few of their grand openings where we got to meet like Nancy Kerrigan, the figure skater. It was really cool. We've hired by Boston Harley Davidson. But then we do smaller things too, like the car show. We did Old Home Day. So there's a lot of opportunities where people are hiring us for their graduation parties or for employee appreciation days. And I think not just because it's really trendy right now, the dirty sodas, but it's an outlet for those who don't drink alcohol.
Sure.
Because it's like a mocktail.
Yeah.
Good for all ages.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can see that. So you graduated from URI, public relations, and then you went on to Northeastern, studying business law, and you got your master's in legal studies.
Yes.
So I'm just curious, with that background coming out of school, was this the career path you always thought, or did you have kind of like a different trajectory that you were going on, and then something happened, you're just like, I really want to start my own business?
Yeah. I don't know if I even had like a trajectory at all. I took a semester. I changed my semester like 6 times.
Yeah.
I changed my major like 6 different times. Every semester I tried something else, from nursing to movement science, undeclared. Then I graduated from public relations, and I loved that. I loved the event planning aspect of it. I then got my real estate license when I was studying legal studies and business law, and that's how I kind of got into. At first, I told my dad I wanted to help him grow on the painting side, and I really just meant running his social media accounts and helping him that way while I was finishing up my master's, and then it grew into me taking over the whole entire business. It was really hard for me to find a path where I felt like I was extremely satisfied in what I did and successful. No matter how busy we were, I didn't feel like I was successful. I wish I could like look back and which I tell my employees who are seniors now, like it's okay to not have it all figured out.
Right.
Like it's okay to not know what you want to do until.
And I kind of feel that way, like especially in your 20s, like don't be afraid to try things, because even if you try something and you completely hate it,
Yeah.
at least you know.
Right.
And I'm not going down that path again, and so you're always going to learn something, even if something you try doesn't work out. Yeah.
That's what I tell them. You always try something. My mom will text me like medical questions about stuff, and I'm like, I only took a semester in nursing, but she thinks I'm like versed in everything. But that's important too.
Yeah.
Is to always be willing to learn and not thinking you know everything. Just try it.
So have those degrees, have they been able to help you with running a business? Like, especially I would imagine like maybe reading contracts or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. The Master's of Legal Studies that I got from Northeastern was like the most beneficial to me, where I learned advocacy, negotiation skills, and then contract writing. Contract writing helped me a lot in the painting business, and now when we go mobile, as well as like employee contracts that we have here and things we have people sign. But it's been beneficial to everything. My undergrad in PR, where I did event planning and marketing and social media, so those have all come into fruition now with what I'm doing. It took a bit, but I was able to definitely pull from it and touch upon a lot of them.
So just step away from the business for a second. Just curious from your perspective on the Clinton Chamber, but also as a small business owner too, I guess. Like, how are you seeing downtown High Street in general, like the direction that it's going? Do you think it's moving in a good direction? Are you seeing a lot of positive signs? I know like we're still working on trying to get the Strand up and going again, but there seems to be a handful of like really successful businesses. Foot traffic seems to be picking up. People are like thinking about like doing like more events and stuff. Like how do you feel being as a business owner, but also on the Clinton Chamber that is focusing on economic development? What do you feel the direction of Clinton downtown? Where do you think it's heading towards?
I think that like I said, the bones are there. Yep. I think that we're at a point right now where there are so many either entrepreneurs or businesses who are looking to expand and move from the location that they are to a bigger location and have a storefront presence, but there's nowhere for them to go.
Right.
So right now the downtown's at a real stallment point with the landlords being the problem.
Gotcha.
And then those storefronts that are available, the amount of work that they need to do.
Yeah.
Like this storefront is so small.
Right.
The amount of work and money that we needed to put into it to get it up and going was a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And we had handicap accessibility. So we had that. We had sprinklers. So that was okay. We only had to move a few, but a lot of these places that people are opening the doors to try to rent, they're not even at that point. How do you start?
Right. And I know on the select board, I think they're still working on it now, that was an issue of concern, because it does seem like, just in my experience, that some of the commercial property owners do put a lot of the burden of bringing the space up to code on the business itself, which is, I have a hard time, like philosophically, because, agreeing with that, because, you don't know how long you're going to be here. You really going to invest like, $100,000 into a space
and hope it works.
You kind of, at least you just hope that the core of it to be able to be used as a business is in place. They wouldn't have to worry about that stuff. So that's that's kind of a Clinton. I'm sure Clinton's not the only community, but it definitely, it is something that I know that the town is and the chamber is focusing on.
There's a lot that the chamber's working on of storefronts that are rented just for storage right now, that are spaces that do have pretty good bones to them.
Yeah.
But there's no way to change that right at the exact moment. So there's got to be a turnaround here with landlords and really getting in front of them to make them make a change.
Agreed.
Yeah.
How has in your opinion, what things, anytime you're starting a business, you got to work with the town. What things do you think the town has done really well in like helping you out? What things do you think you might want to like work through the chamber to maybe try to improve if there was anything through the process? Just in general, your experience working with the town and getting the business up and running. What did they do good? What did they do not so good in your opinion?
Yeah, so I really worked well with Lee Abdella.
Yep.
She was like instrumental in me being able to even find a location
Yep.
that I didn't even know was available.
Mm-hmm.
So she was the one who, like, if I had any questions questions about the paint color outside, and then going up to Phil's office, they were really helpful. It was really confusing, I think, of trying to start a business on what steps of order to take.
Right.
The business guide that we have online is like really helpful, but I think I didn't know like who to get sign-offs from first.
Sure.
So there was times where I like went in the wrong order and not knowing, but I did try to do everything like by the book and the right way and ask questions, but I can see how it can be hard if you don't know anyone.
And that was something we were talking about for a while, and they're probably still working on it, but like a software-based system that it just asks you questions, and depending on your answer, it kind of like directs you to go like one way or another. Because that is a problem we have a lot. You know, like people would come before the select board for approval and would be like, before you come here, you have to go to this other board first. And they'd be like, well, we went to them. They told us to go to this board. So you're right. It would be having some sort of a Sherpa to guide, you through the process would help out.
I think right now that would be so helpful, because I have people coming in to talk to me, and it's great, like, but that they've been sent here to talk to me to ask how to do things, and I don't want to give the wrong answer. I think it's really important for anyone starting a business to just make sure that you ask questions.
Yes.
I think that you can get a lot more done if you just go directly to the source.
Mm-hmm.
Like for the Board of Health, John McNally and Tom Bonsi have been phenomenal for me to work with. I've never run a food place in my life and had so many questions, and they're there to guide you.
Sure.
They want to see other people succeed, but I think it's when people don't go to ask what regulations are, how things do, or take an attempt to at least try to figure it out and do things on their own is when hiccups happen.
Sure.
So going directly to the source is 100% the way to go. They're there to help you.
Yep. Lauren, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ed.
This was great. I did promise my two nieces are huge fans of the store. They come down here a lot. They each had a question, if you don't mind entertaining them, they'd like to ask you. Come on, girls, you can come out. This is MJ.
I'll put the sweatshirt. I love it.
Jordan.
So
cute.
There you go. I wanted to ask, what would you say to someone when they're trying to decide on two drinks?
That's a really good question. So we have 5 new employees training this week, so this is something that we're going over with them. Our menu is really big, as you've noticed. There's a lot of different options on it. So we tell people the easiest thing to do is start with something that you see and know you like, with the soda base. So if you like Sprite or if you like lemonade, look at those first. And then we ask them, like, do you like strawberry? Do you like something sweet? So then we try to help make them a decision. But I think the best thing that we can do is we share what we like and give them recommendations. So our employees have tried like almost everything on the menu, so we can let them know, oh, the Baby Shark is really good. You should get that.
Yeah. My question was, are you guys coming out with any new candies?
So we always have new candy coming in. So when we opened the candy store, I never realized how much candy like was trending, like on social media and TikTok and things that you can see. So it's been everything from old school candy, like wax bottles. Do you know what those were?
Yeah.
Yes, those, the satellite wafers, Swedish candy. We just got those audio lollipops in that you put it in your mouth and you can hear a song, but no one else can hear it. So we're always looking at like new trends, and it's mostly kids your age who tell us like, have you seen this? And then we'll get it in the store. So if you see anything and any trends heading in that direction, let me know and we can definitely get it. Yeah.
All right. Girls, say thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Good stuff. Again, thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
The Fountain. Make sure you guys come down, check it out. Thanks a lot for watching.
Thank you.